Simon Howard, how are we doing this afternoon then?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. I'm absolutely knackered because I got in at 4 a.m. this morning from a McFly gig. So
Oh wow! Oh my God, where did you go see McFly?
that was at the O2 Arena. They were having like a 21st birthday party. So
Oh
basically,
sweet.
basically, yeah, like they played for nearly like 3 hours. So it was a case of
Jesus.
having to basically, yeah, just leave that on time. Yeah, on the tube. As someone who obviously like lives in London is probably aware, you need to get on the tube, and then to save money on a hotel. I was like, just get a midnight bus home and be back by 4. That part, yeah,
That's
that,
it.
that,
That's it.
still
Oh,
part
that's
of the fun
cool.
in it. Still part of the fun. Um,
Yeah.
so I guess that you've just been in the studio for because how long have you been in the studio for, recording your new stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we did about a solid 2.5 weeks, but with a break in the middle.
Okay.
So yeah, literally just finished uh this week,
Yeah.
which is great to finally get some new stuff down. As I was saying to you before, in audio form, because I've been sort of
Yeah.
piling these up for the past 12
Yeah.
months, so it's yeah, it kind of helps to get it in that format. So no, it's been good. It's been really fun, and yeah, just kind of sort of excited to when the moment's right to put it out
Yeah.
there.
Well, 'cause, like, when I guess you're recording, um, solo stuff, is it just, like, you and the producer that just drive each other crazy for 2 weeks, or do you have, like, other people that are, like, in there, like, recording, like, an odd instrument here or there, like a drum beat or a violin, or so you can all, like, drive each other crazy
Yeah,
together?
yeah, yeah. It's a bit of both, to be fair. Yeah, it's obviously a lot of time with just me. I'm a producer, Rob. But we've worked together for a couple of years now, so I feel like we've got it to a good place where we feel quite comfortable with each other, and we can kind of just be ourselves, and we can sort of, even the kind of like the more kind of the lull moments, and we can kind of just chat about just all sorts, because
Random
you always do.
stuff, yeah.
You always get to that point in the day where it's just like, oh, you've been sort of like, working away at the songs, and then you just bring up some of the most random topics, like, it's good because it breaks it up, kind of thing, but you do just chat about the most rubbish, like, all, like, quite a lot, but it's good, it's fun, it's kind of, it's
Yeah.
good that we've got it to that kind of place. So but then, yeah, but then we've also got we've got a lot of players that come in on the songs, like drummers, violinists, and for the first time a bit of steel pedal as well,
Oh,
which was
very
pretty
nice.
exciting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm pretty excited to sort of yeah, just get these songs out, and sort of, yeah, hopefully hopefully people like it.
Yeah, well, that's the plan, obviously. Well, and hopefully, it'll all be good. Um, so obviously, you have ended up in a recording thing studio because I assume you like music to a certain extent, and it's been like a good like few years that you've been doing all this stuff as well. Um, so
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So I guess how did you get into music anyway? How did that all pan out? Because I can detect an accent on you. I can't quite detect which one exactly, but sounds all well. It sounds up north, up north to me, like Liverpool, that sort of area, sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I grew up in Southport, which is which is just along the coast, on Merseyside, and
Oh,
then
thank God for that.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I'm
in the
just
right
like,
area,
is
in the
it
right area,
is it that
because
one? I'm not too sure. Yeah,
yeah, no, so yeah, but the kind of sort of, I guess, the music kind of journey starting was, bit of a strange one. I started so I studied computer science. Um,
as you do at university, as you do. Yeah,
yeah, do you know what I mean? The
yeah,
obvious path, that leads to a music career.
yeah.
Yeah, so I did that, and then kind of got halfway. through that and realized that I really didn't want to do this. But it was kind of too far past the point to sort of turn back. So I was like, I've kind of got to see this through now. So I finished that, and then as soon as I finished that, I pretty much was already thinking about what I was going to do next, and I knew it wasn't going to be in that. So I took a little bit of time off, time away, and then fully enough, I had some friends getting married in Texas.
Oh, of
The
all
f
places.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. So the following summer, I went over there, and sort of leading up to that trip, I just decided that I was gonna stay. I was just gonna stay for the summer. Like, I'm not tied down to a job or anything like that. So from that, I took my guitar with me. So I learned guitar when I was younger, when I was like 14, 15, I think. Um, so I took my guitar over with me, and I then just started to sort of see, what was coming out really, like, to actually start writing songs, which I hadn't really done properly before. Like, I kind of dabbled a little bit, but not in that sort of kind of structured kind of way. And I've always loved music, like, it's always been there, like, as I say, kind of learning guitar and always had an interest in it. But during this summer, it kind of felt like it came a bit more sort of a light that, ooh, something feels good when I do
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
kind of thing. It
Yeah,
feels
yeah.
good to kind of, like, get some things off your chest, and that's what all it really was at first, was it just sort of like an outlet kind of thing. So I just treated it like that. And then it got to the point though, I just thought, well, maybe I'll try and show some of these songs in public kind of thing, see how it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah.
Which again, not really done much of at all, but I thought, doing it in a place where no one knows me at all, probably a good time to do this, literally got
Mhm.
nothing to lose sort of thing. So I started doing a couple of open mics around Texas, and then met a couple of people through that, and every time that I was playing, it was kind of positive feedback sort of thing. So I was like, oh, cool, okay. So yeah, so that's where it kind of started from all of that really, and then yeah, it kind of maybe spiraled since since I got back to
Yeah.
the UK. Yeah, so
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is cool.
Yeah, though, yeah, so with, like, doing, like, open mic nights in the States, I guess, like, I assume, like, you've also done them over here as well. Like,
Hmm.
I guess, like, is there any, like, difference between them, or is it just because Americans are, just just much more, I guess, um, just, like, much more, alive, if you know what I mean? Like, compared to, like, Brits who are more just sit there and smile and nod their head, whereas, like,
Yeah.
Americans are more like, "Woo, that," that sort
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah, right. Yeah,
If that makes any sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they're very similar in the ways that they're very sort of like supportive, and like, they
Yeah.
want you to do well kind of thing, and they want to hear new music and stuff. And they're both really varied, like, and they got a lot of variation, like in both really, like in styles, and even what kind of like style it is. Like sometimes it's poetry, or it's just like a written passage kind of thing. So but I mean, to be fair, I think that it was just more about just building the experiences for me. Like, I feel like open mics are such a good place to have started to do that, and to do it in a lot of different places before trying to actually play shows, or even play it, like, closer to home a little bit, because that was the big thing for me, was just trying to build enough confidence to start sort of letting people into this into this world a little bit, like, to show it to people that, because it was quite a daunting thing for me. And yeah, it took me a little while to sort of build that side of things up, but then when the moment came, it was kind of, it was good, because then it kind of felt like, right, ready to try and just, like, see see what else we can do with this, kind of like from the open mics. It was good to get that sort of experience, and then to sort of try and see where else anyone would let me play, basically.
Yeah, yeah. But, yeah, and yeah, so then when sort of it came crashing down to reality with obviously like coming back home. Did did I guess you just go full time from then on, or was it a case of having to like obviously sort of do what musicians tend to do, as in like doing like the day job and then having to gig in the sort of afternoon, no, not afternoons, evenings and weekends, or did you just go fully ham, just full time, just see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a slow burner, to be fair, because I kind of literally just sort of said, yeah, I want to try and give this as much of a go as possible, kind of thing, like, and I was before I actually went to Texas and stuff. I did have a job for a very brief period working at Vodafone, so I did that for a little while, and then but then I thought when I came back, I thought, oh, you know what, I just want to try and just give this my full attention, and just see
Yeah,
where this goes, kind of thing. So I did that, but yeah, as I say, it took a little while to sort of still continue sort of writing, still continue trying to just build the confidence of the of like performing at open mics, and then eventually you start to sort of like play your own shows, and yeah, it was mainly that, but I'm glad I kind of took that time to just sort of give it my full attention, kind of thing, because maybe I might have not got to the point, maybe as quick, or kind of thing. I don't, it kind of hard to say, but no, I just thought, I'm not really tied to anything. Like, this is kind of the thing that I'm really really enjoying the most. So I thought, yeah, I don't want to kind of maybe get distracted by anything else. I just want to give this my full attention, kind of thing.
yeah,
So yeah, that's what.
absolutely, yeah, but that's cool. And so, but yeah, and so I guess was it just a case of like you know, I guess sort of just trying to sort of like like write. I guess just sort of like practice like writing songs and just practice as all musicians say.
Yeah, literally, man. Honestly, just it is just about kind of just continuing to doing it. And at first, it was purely just a way of to just have a bit of an outlet and get some things, like, on paper, kind of thing, and that was just good, even just for that at first. And then you start to do it a bit more, and then when you kind of have already played those songs quite a few times, you kind of just want
Yeah,
to write something new, just so you have something new to sing, kind of thing. So yeah, so it was all a bit of that. It was just like, right, I've done this a lot, and I was like, right, maybe we should write some new songs. Then we did that, and I started playing those songs, and it's kind of just like a cycle like that. It's just like, right, I've done this now. Let's write a new song again, like, kind of thing. And it's good because, like, it does encourage you then to try and write more and more and quite more frequently. And yeah, it was good because then you start to sort of explore a lot more different topics and themes, and um yeah, no, it was kind of like, once it started, it was just, keep going as much as possible, really.
yeah. So when did you start taking it like seriously? So, like what sort of like year are we sort of talking about?
I mean, seriously, uh I mean, I kind of say, like, I started gigging properly from 2019, I would say, because
Okay, okay,
2018 was the year that I went to Texas and sort of wanted sort of decided that I wanted to start a career in music, sort of thing. And then, as I say, when I got back from Texas to the UK, I had a couple of months of just still trying to build that bit of confidence and getting sort of closer and closer to home. So I was doing like open mics in like Scotland and London and Manchester, and then
okay,
slowly it's
okay.
like, yeah, because I was literally that shy about it. I was just like, oh God, I really want to make sure that I'm kind of ready to show this to people that I know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I made real show of that, and
Yeah, just don't give me anything at home that's like a walkable distance from my house. Just take
yeah,
me to
yeah,
Scotland,
yeah,
take me down south, take me to
yeah.
Wales, take me to anywhere else. Yeah.
If like, yeah, if it's like, if it's less than half an hour, no, we're not doing it.
No.
It's too easy. It's too easy. So so yeah, so I went for that approach, and then yeah, so then when I started to sort of get closer to home, that was like 2019, um and then so I did that for about a solid year, and then obviously everything hit the world, which put the brakes on a little bit on all that kind of world. So so that was
Yeah.
interesting timing, but can't be helped these things, I guess. So
Well, yeah, you can't really help it in a once in a century pandemic
no,
opinion. Yeah.
yeah, can't really control
Fu
it. Yeah.
Funnily enough, I was watching Stephen Bartlett's interview with Boris Johnson today. That was
Oh
well, that,
right,
that was a whether or not that was
Interesting
a
watch, interesting listen.
semi wasted. Well, half and half because
Yeah.
it's 2 hours and no one wants to listen to Boris Johnson for 2 hours. I'm
Mm.
even the most interesting person. Anyway, yeah. Though to be honest, that's a good segue onto when I guess it hit the fan. Um,
Mhm.
I guess yeah. So what was happening in March 2020 for you? Like, I guess was it just like more open mics, or were you like just trying to like sort of like amp it up more?
Well, around March 2020, I was playing in I was playing in quite a few bars and pubs at this point, and sort of doing a couple of shows like that. Um, and yeah, then obviously everything stopped, which was a bit of a shame. um, so but yeah, so it was only kind of just sort of getting going, the whole music world for me, really. Um but it was more about when everything sort of first hit. I was kind of more just because like everyone was, I guess, was worried about, like, what we were gonna sort of like, go back to, when everything sort of dies down and stuff. And especially with this new thing that I've just started to explore, I was wondering, like, has is it kind of like, is there going to be much of it back, or is it going to take a while for all of that kind of thing to come back, or is there going to be much of it, or as much as there was, kind of thing. But luckily, since everything's sort of returned to how it is, it's been busier than ever, so which is good. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not too bad. 'Cause yeah, yeah, 'cause from the looks of it, during COVID, from what I've seen, you released an EP,
Mhm.
but just and then further singles. So at least like you use the time wisely to like you know yeah, rather than just watch Netflix all day. But
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, there was definitely a lot of writing. There was a lot of there was I think there was I mean, there was a lot of drinking as well, and there was a lot of gaming as well. There was a mixture of
oh
all that
yeah,
in there as well. But
yeah.
there was some writing as well. Yeah, it was all about balance. So no, yeah, it was a good time to obviously just sit down and get some new songs down on paper, kind of thing. And that's what, yeah, all those kind of songs, like the like Youth Ground EP and Not Like Superman, and they were all
Trojan
from,
horse, etc., etc.
yeah, they were
Yeah,
all from the from the COVID days. So it was good. And then but then Life of Today, actually, the first release, that was just before everything, because I had recorded that in another studio before then. um so it was good to have at least got that down and kind of get that out for this. So I was kind of just sort of happy to have had that for the first bit of the pandemic, because it was a good sort of distraction, and had something to do, kind of thing, like, and get that song out there. So that was good. But yeah, no, was an interesting period, wasn't it? Very interesting.
Oh, yeah, it was, yeah, yeah, so yeah, just yeah, that's all I can
It's like,
say.
did that happen? Did that really happen?
Yeah, well, yeah, though, like, what I find really sort of, interesting that, like, that quite a lot of people who I've had on here, like, were doing completely different things,
Mm,
like, pre-COVID, and then during COVID, they had, like, a complete, like career, life, "What am I doing?"
shift kind of thing.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
and yeah, and then yeah, because I've had someone who's become a choreographer, I and, like, various other people who are doing stuff they enjoy, and I'm
Oh
like,
wow,
"Well, I
amazing.
well, I guess silver lining, if if anything,
At least
some
some
sort of
good
silver
came from
lining,
it,
isn't
yeah,
it?"
you know, yeah, 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 I'm glad, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, though so I play guitar personally,
mhm,
though I to be like I've tried writing songs just to see what it's like, and I generally have no idea how like sort of how like you go about like writing what you want to write about, how whether or not you want it to rhyme, how it all works out. 'Cause,
mm,
yeah, yeah. So so I guess like for this, I guess like for the stuff that that you've like written and recorded and released. Like, how do you sort of like go from I don't want to write about it. I don't know. I'll write about Superman. I'll write about a Trojan horse. Like how do you like like go from an idea to there you go
yeah,
Spotify.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's to be honest, man, it's different every single time. Yeah, it really is. I mean, particularly with Trojan Horse, I mean, I'd been sitting on that song for a while, like probably one of the longest it took to finish it kind of thing. And I was kind of really struggling about what I was going to make this whole thing about really. And I think it just came up in a conversation and mentioned Trojan Horse. And I just thought that was a really cool like concept for a song. And it kind of like sort of that finished it kind of thing. And then again with sort of, but then with like Superman, I just kind of like, it was at a time when I was writing, quite a lot. And that came together quite quickly. That was um, like over the course of like maybe like a day. I do this thing actually with songs where I start them and then sleep on them and then wake up and be like, do I still kind of like the idea? I do that quite a lot.
Okay, okay.
And I did that with Superman. I kind of woke up and I was like, yeah, I still like this. I'm still into this.
Yeah,
And then kind of continued it kind of thing. So I've done, but that again is just that's just one of the kind of processes that
yeah.
I've done in the past. I mean, it is literally so different every time. Like but for those two, that's how they went. And but then sometimes it literally just comes together in the space of a few hours. Like I think Cancellation was like that. I think that came together pretty quickly. And then some of these new songs that I've done as well, they some of them sort of happened in like in the space of like 2 hours and a couple and 3 hours kind of thing. But yeah, honestly, it's so different every time, and the kind of the topics that they kind of you explore. It's just good because I guess kind of like when you've written about one thing, it makes you want to kind of maybe write about something else like the next time. So kind of just try and like mix up for your own kind of like uh thought
Sanity.
process kind of things. Like God, I've been singing a lot about this really heavy topic here. It's just like let's try and write something a bit jolly here in this next one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
be
mix
happy,
just
be
for myself.
happy.
I'm just like God, yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that happens a
Yeah,
fair bit as well.
yeah. Well, they do, like, like being like the musical nerd that I am, and I'm sure that you are. Like the amount of like songs that have literally been written in 2 hours and are the best song that's ever been written.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I've got
like it's mental. It's
yeah.
mental. Like the amount, yeah. But I guess hey, if it works, it works. All
It
I can say.
works, it works, that's it. I mean, they do say some of the best songs are written like that, aren't they? And but yeah, so yeah, I'm not sure spending I don't know how long Trojan horse on it. It was definitely quite a few months. I just sat on the idea, but sometimes you just need that time to take a step back and sort of circle back to it, and then yeah, kind of it comes a bit more clearer when you've had a bit of a break from it, kind of thing. So, but yes, different every time, different every time.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah. So you said that you're from Gosport originally. So where? So
Southport originally.
Yeah, that's Southport. Ugh, honestly, that's all good. My apologies.
So I was like, "Where's that?" I'm intrigued.
Moving everywhere and anyway. Um, yeah, yeah. So where are you based currently, as we speak?
As we speak, I'm currently
Yes.
in London, Elephant and Castle, just south of the river. Yeah, been here for just over a year now, and it's been good. Yeah, kind of slowly getting more bearings of little kind of places here and there. But I mean, I feel like I've still barely scratched the surface of this place because it's just so massive, isn't it? So it's just
Well, yeah.
trying to still figure out like yeah, just where everything is. It's just like my God, like it's just goes on and on, but it's good. No, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, cause yeah, yeah, cause yeah, cause so I guess like, did you I guess like move there? Cause as you said, like it's so like big, and like I guess like there are more like opportunities there than than back home, or like why did you move there in the first place, or did you just end up there through a happenstance?
Yeah, I mean, well, a couple of reasons really. I mean, there was a lot of when there was the opportunity to move down here, there was a lot of like, even like music friends like sort of saying like, yeah, you've got to try and just give it a go and just see what it's like down there, sort of thing. But it's also because I did a master's in songwriting down here as well, which I've now just come to the end of, which is pretty cool. So yeah, so that was a big reason of it also as well because I studied it at ICMP, and I just thought it was a good way to sort of come down here and meet people, just straight off the bat, sort of
Oh
thing,
yeah, absolutely.
London's such like a massive place, and
Oh yeah.
um, yeah, and I just felt like, because it is so big, maybe it was it might get a bit lonely if I didn't know anyone down here, sort of thing. But I thought, especially like, meeting a lot of, songwriters, straight away was a really, really good way to sort of start my time down in London, sort of things. And I'm really glad that I did that because now I've got a really good group of mates down here who are, songwriters themselves, and it's been a really sort of nice way to have sort of had this first 12 months down here, and but yeah, looking to obviously stay down here and yeah, see what else London's got to offer.
Yeah, so I guess like during how obviously like with doing the degree, have you like noticeably seen like a difference in like your, I guess like songwriting ability and and all that sort of thing? Because I guess I sort of like during this time you've had sort of like cancellation, which is obviously how I've heard of you.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah.
hopefully it works.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I'd definitely say the 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 frequency of writing has improved a lot, and this sort of I think my biggest thing at first when I was writing songs was like overthinking a lot. Like I used to overthink a lot of the lyrics that I was writing, and kind of go like rewriting things and going over it over and over and over again. And then sometimes, you'd go, "Oh, actually, the first draft was better than this," and kind of thing. Is like, so if I feel like that sort of overthinking process I've kind of sort of in the past year been able to sort of like train myself out of it a little bit, and which is definitely for the better. And because you basically during the when I was doing the course, you just didn't have time to do that at all. You literally just had to be like, right, that's the song, got to go show it next week. I haven't got time to be overthinking
Oh wow.
all these kind of stuff.
True.
And
True.
I think that actually works better because
Yeah.
you kind of like you kind of get the songs out a lot quicker, and you kind of come to sort of to actually come to complete the songs a lot quicker. And then even now as well, like, I it's better to sort of, in my opinion, it's just to sort of just finish the song, and then sort of like kind of like stopping halfway, and then kind of like maybe losing the idea a little bit, and maybe losing the momentum of the song a little bit. And it's kind of good to just sort of try and get through it. Maybe if you're not completely happy with a couple of lines here, you can kind of look back a little bit after that. You know but it's been good to kind of go through that new kind of process of just being able to not even have the chance to sort of overthink a lot of lyrics kind of thing. And yeah, just as I say, sort of like this has definitely been the most that I've been writing in my whole time of like sort of like playing music sort of thing. This is definitely the most. This is the most songs that I've got. This is there's a pile there that that I'm kind of wanting to maybe look back and see, maybe potentially record those as well, or maybe like to sort of redraft or whatever. But no, it's been good. It's been good for all of those reasons. And don't get me wrong, there's some absolute stinkers in there as well, which will never surface ever again. But
That's what Ed Sheeran thought with thought with Shape of You. He thought I shouldn't release this. God no. But then a billion streams. You're welcome.
yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I with places like ICMP. Cause yeah. Like cause I guess like that's I guess like in the like traditional sort of like musical study sense, that's probably a bit more like a more like a modern place to study compared to like the Royal Academy of Music and places like those, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, well, I was looking at a couple of places when I was thinking about moving to London and like starting a course. And there was a couple of options out there, but ICMP was the one that had just solely focused on songwriting, which was like a big
Okay,
appeal for
cool.
me. There was some that were kind of like blended courses with production and songwriting, or like that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and like performance and that sort of thing, probably, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I kind of looked into them, and they sounded good. But then when I saw this, it was kind of like, no, this is what I want to be focusing on completely, kind of thing. And and even but then even through the course as well, you do dabble with production a little bit as well. Even though, God, need to need to work on that. There's a reason why I work with a producer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, so that was a big appeal of it as well. So we kind of, it was all just about sort of looking at our songs. And it was good because to have the opportunity to show these songs, like, weekly. Like, I'd never had that chance to do that before. It was usually like, go play them live kind of thing, like,
Mm,
either an
yeah,
open mic, or like, at one of your shows, or if you're supporting someone, or at a festival, or any of these kind of things. That's sometimes that is the first time that you ever give it, the time of day kind of thing. And so yeah, no, it was good to have that sort of uh that routine kind of opportunity to show these songs, and get feedback on them. And sort of when people said that, this works well, or this doesn't work well, or maybe something needs to become a bit more clearer, like, it's just also a good indicator for you, what maybe is working well, what doesn't work well. And yeah, it kind of definitely helps explore strengths and weaknesses, and what kind of, you know how you can maybe sort of explore your strengths further, and how you can maybe improve your weaknesses, kind of thing. So no, so it was good for a lot of reasons. But yeah, the big thing for me was just, getting that chance to sort of get get loads of songs in the past 12 months, and be able to just share them with everyone, really. Yeah, so
yeah, yeah. So what is cancellation about then?
Cancellation is about cancellation is a sort of kind of feeling trapped in a cycle of deja vu and wanting to break out of it basically and getting a bit sort of frustrated and fed up really because I was going at the time when I was writing it there was I was kind of going through a couple of uh different sort of relationships with people and it was kind of following a similar pattern every time and there was a bit of like a bit of frustration from it and and I was kind of thinking like is this even just sort of questions like because then you start to think like is this how it's supposed to go maybe like and I was just like because it was like so it was kind of a bit of all that really. It was just kind of like a bit of confusion, a bit of frustration, and a bit kind of like just feeling like kind of like going a bit in sort of in circles kind of thing. So it was kind of a bit of that. It's kind of a bit of I guess, a bit of a sarcastic kind of song a little bit as well, sort of saying, just seeing another cancellation, another one to get me through the night. It's the kind of a bit like what can I do to maybe try and break out of this kind of thing and yeah, so it was a bit of that really, but so it was a good kind of sort of thing to kind of get down and be like, good kind of like sort of thing to be like, right, let's try and get this out a little bit and vent this a little bit, I guess. So yeah, that's what it's kind of about in a nutshell, really.
Hello, everyone. If you've made it this far into the episode, thank you so much. As you're watching on YouTube, it would mean the world if you could leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Also, follow the podcast on socials at Reaching the Crescendo Pod using the links in the description below. Now, back to the episode. Right, so obviously you are a independent musician. Is that like the correct way of putting it? Okay, so right, so yeah, so like what tends to be like I guess a normal like week in like the life of an independent musician in general. Because to you it probably sounds immensely boring and just the same thing over and over again, or maybe with like with like a live show or a festival tacked on to like a weekend or something.
Yeah. No, I mean, it might it might sound maybe boring to people, to be fair, because it's like it's a lot of kind of like, sort of preparation work really, to be honest, for, being independent. It's a lot of kind of getting everything in place and, there's a lot of emails, a lot of living on Gmail, that's a thing.
Yeah, mates, two of us.
Yeah, yeah, so there's a lot of that. But then obviously, especially during the course of the past 12 months, there's been a lot of writing as well. So kind of do that during the weeks. But then, if there's a gig coming up at the weekends, depending on who's kind of playing, because what's quite good is that I've got like a couple of people that can kind of jump on the show with me, kind of thing. And sometimes we get together to do a rehearsal, especially if we've got some new songs that we want to try out, kind of thing. So yeah, it's a lot of time on your own, just basically just getting your act together. Basically, that's literally what it is. Getting yourself looking a bit presentable for the weekend. That's pretty much it, to be honest.
Though speaking of looking presentable, you have done a few done a few weddings during your time from what I've seen. So you must
Hmm.
yeah, you seem to to scrub to scrub scrub up well for a venue.
Yeah, I mean, definitely getting the money's worth out of that suit. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
doing a job. So yeah, no, definitely done. Yeah, I have to sort of obviously get a bit wedding presentable for that. But they're fun. They're really fun. It's obviously a really nice atmosphere. And yeah, no, done a few this summer. Kind of coming towards the back end of it now. They've only got one or two left for the year. So but yeah, it's been a busy old summer for it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so what tends to be like your like the most like requested song when you do either like a reception or the walk down the aisle?
I mean, you get good question. I get a lot. Do you know what recently I've been? Do you know what recently I've been getting a lot of actually is "There She Goes," the Laws. Been getting that one a lot.
Haven't
Uh
haven't listened to that one. Haven't
oh,
really
like,
listened to that one.
there she goes again. No, it might be in that fantastic rendition of it, really high
Oh,
pitched
it's
version of it.
to be honest, a lot of it, like the amount of times, like you hear a song on the radio, but then obviously because of just the way that just because of the way that radio is, it just like moves on. So you've heard the song, but you have no idea who it's by, and you
Yeah,
have
right,
no idea
right.
what the actual name is. So the amount of times, like I hear like a song at work, and I'm like. I've got no idea who that is, and I've got no idea what
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
called. So the amount of times I'm like sort of trying to like search into YouTube, like the very like small like amount of lyrics that I can remember to then to then try and find the
yeah,
actual
yeah,
song.
yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, that do you know what? That's what's been good about it, to be fair, is, like, discovering new songs is like, "Wow, I
Oh
never
yeah,
knew this song." Or, like, you knew the song, you didn't know who it was by. I was like, "Oh, it's by them." I was like, "Oh, wow, that's cool."
you buy
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. And so I guess where's been like the most random place you've either like done a gig, wedding, or festival. Like you're just like I didn't even know this place existed on a map until this
Yeah,
like till till when I was asked to go to random name.
yeah. Well, you may know it. Terminal 2, Heathrow Airport, maybe.
To be honest, I was at Heathrow Airport last night because my coach on the way back had to do a had to do a detour
Oh,
detour
right,
to sort.
okay, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I was there last night, but
No way.
unfortunately it was at like 1:30, so there definitely wasn't like a performance going on
No music going
at
on. No, no,
same
no,
time.
no, no, no.
No,
But yeah,
okay.
I'd probably say that's been the most random. Yeah, it was. I think it was Terminal 2. It was in Cafe Nero of the airport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was pretty random. Kind of, getting on the uh, getting on the Heathrow Express to go do a gig. That was interesting. Um, but yeah, I think it was Heathrow. It's either Heathrow or Gatwick. I always get those confused. It's one of those, but basically an airport is the most random one that I've done. Um, yeah, no, that's probably up there, I'd say. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. It was around Christmas time. Yeah, it all got blended in the Christmas run thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. And I guess you didn't play the "Someday I'll Fly Away." No,
Yeah.
you didn't play that song. No,
No, no, I was
you missed the trick on that one. You missed the
I
trick.
know, mate. Honestly, yeah, I was getting too jealous of other people taking off somewhere for their
Yeah.
Christmas break. So yeah, no, it was good. I remember we went to Peter Kelly the night before. So
Oh,
and it was
nice.
yeah, and it was a quite an early start for it. So I was a bit
Yeah.
I think I was a bit done in for it, but we made it work. We made it work.
But, hey, anything for POK.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And for festivals, where's the most like random place you've done a festival with a really weird name, which they tend to do, have really weird names.
Uh, for weird festivals, I mean, the
Or just
most,
like like weird stage or just weird like venue or place.
I guess I did a festival. It's called um in a really cool like because it was I really enjoyed it. There was a festival called Equinox Festival in Grimsby, and
Oh, very
we
nice.
yeah, and we were on at like quarter past midnight, 12:15 a.m. and it was just it was just so just like amazing how it was all laid out, and we looked over and there was like you could see like all these kind of like rave tents going on, like, and everyone was just kind of like, um, had like a good day, sort of like, and we were kind of coming. I don't know. I think they still had music going on till like 3 in the morning or something like that. So we were kind of like in the middle of it. So it was just me and a fiddle kind of thing. So we were doing this, and we were kind of just like in this tent, and but it
Yeah.
was really good. There was people like dressed up with like fairy dresses and had like all these lights on and all this kind of stuff. So we were just kind of just when we got there, it's just like as you do, you just kind of gotta get involved sort of thing. So yeah, so that was really fun. That was yeah, that was cool. That was yeah, one to remember, which was fun.
Well, speaking of festivals that last all night and all day, I was immensely jealous that you went to Glastonbury this year. Immensely jealous.
Yes, mate, it was yeah, first time got to do it, so
Oh,
it was yeah,
first time.
so it was no, it was absolutely brilliant. I mean, when you kind of like have heard so many stories from it, like loads of mates been
Yes,
to it, and you're like,
yes.
oh, is it kind of gonna meet that expectation? But it really did. It was it was absolutely amazing, and hopefully get to go again sooner rather than later. So we were obviously lucky to get a ticket because it's absolutely a lottery getting a ticket for that thing. So no, it was glad that I'm glad that it was kind of finally our turn to kind of get to just to go and explore it and see it kind of thing. So it was great. It was really fun. We got there on the Tuesday, so we really made
Oh,
the
wow.
full. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did the full.
I'm surprised they let you on the site considering
Yeah, well, I think
it
it's
is normally
because we.
like a Wednesday start, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think it's different because we had a caravan. I think that's why.
Okay,
I think you're
sure.
allowed on the Tuesday. I think you're allowed to go in with a caravan,
Oh,
but
okay.
you're not actually allowed on the site, but you're allowed to just go into the sort of caravan site. So we got there like sort of for like the early evening on the Tuesday. So then we were just like already set, sort of like ready to go, kind of the Wednesday sort of thing. So yeah, we weren't messing about. We were like, let's get stuck in. Like, first time doing this, let's make the
Yeah.
most of it. Yeah, yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Um. Yeah. So, and I guess did you watch like Coldplay like everyone did? I assume Avril
absolutely.
Lavigne, all those fun
Absolutely,
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, complete sardine stuff for Coldplay. But it was
Oh, absolutely.
absolutely brilliant. I mean, again, like I've actually had a few mates that have gone to see Coldplay, and
Oh no.
they've said
Yeah.
they've
Nice.
said how good of a show that they put on. So it was good to
Oh yeah.
just by chance get to see them there and stuff. So that was brilliant. Who else did we see? We saw obviously Dua,
Yeah.
saw Dua Lipa, but some of my favorites though was at the Avalon stage, I think it was, and went to go see The Feeling. Um,
Rings a bell. Yeah.
yeah,
Rings
oh
a bell.
yeah, I used to listen to them when I was in school and stuff,
Yeah.
and it was just proper, just yeah, bringing back just like that whole thing. I was just like listening to that. It's just like, it's like these still land today. Do you know what I mean? I was just like,
Yeah.
these are fantastic. Like honestly, like these are so good. And yeah, we because they were the last band that we saw as well at the festival. We were just like like listen to them on the way back, like driving this camper van thing, like back like to the back to where we rented it off from, just like listen to these. It's just like, oh god, wasn't that so good last night? Just like so it was a good way to finish off the festival with them. So
Yeah, so, yeah, yeah, what was obviously like, because last night, like between like all like the support acts, they play like music, etc., etc. Because the stuff they played between like the two opening ones, I will admit, like was terrible. But then after like the second one, and like everyone was like getting ready for McFly. They were playing like Bryan Adams, Rascal Flatts, Queen.
wow.
I'm like, okay, someone's hit the playlist correctly
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this time. Mental.
Oh,
Um,
I'm jealous that you've seen me fight that. like I was like just thinking about
I'm
COVID.
jealous. I'm jealous. You've seen Coldplay because so I tried to get tickets to see Coldplay for next year,
Uh-huh.
and I was working on the day that they were doing it. So my friend who works at cabin crew for Virgin, she'd got back from New York at like 4 a.m. that morning. Was
Oh,
on a
okay.
laptop at 9, and didn't get through till 2, and everything was gone.
Oh,
Nothing,
Jesus.
nada for
Well,
Coldplay.
we have to trade. We have to trade. Like, I need to go see McFly. You need to go see Coldplay. We'll have to figure this out somehow.
Well, they are playing again at the O2 tonight. There might be a few spare tickets. They're 50 quid.
Okay, okay. Well, I'll say
They're 50
like,
quid.
yeah. I mean, I'm meeting a friend. I'll see if that friend wants to come along. Like, do you fancy it? Like, I was on this podcast today. Like, shall we go? It
Yeah.
came up in conversation. We should go see McFly.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
like but genuinely they went up on stage at 20 past 8. They finished at 11.
What? No messing about. Jeez.
No,
Yeah.
they played for 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't, and they were sort of interrupted by Busted too. They're going out on tour next year. It was an
Are they
entire thing.
really
They
interesting?
are. They are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a very hot spell. Like I was thinking then in COVID where I was really diving into the McFly world, and I was just like, oh my god. So so yeah, I feel like I have to. I feel like I have to for that. You know, just to.
Yeah. Very, very good. Cause
Yeah.
of it. Yeah. Yeah. Because I've seen Busted as well. That was last year, and they
Mm.
only played for an hour. Because I was like, well, I guess what they only have so many hits, don't they?
Yeah.
So like with Fly, you've gone 2 hours and 45 minutes. There's your there's your food.
Oh
Anyway,
wow.
um, so that's your calling to see McFly. They finish at 11. So good luck getting home. All I can say.
Okay.
Um,
It'll be
yeah,
worth it.
but
Worth it
it,
for
it's
McFly.
it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Right. Okay. So yeah. So as I said when we were or before I pressed record. So I had come across come across yourself on Instagram as
Mm-hmm.
a sponsored post. Yeah, and I guess like especially now where social media basically you don't like in the nicest possible way you don't really succeed in like in any like creative industry to the same extent without like having some sort of like social media following or that sort of thing. Um so I guess is it trying to obviously like sort of do the musical side of things and then like manage like the like the social media creator part side of things where you like sort of I guess like recording like video and all that and all that sort of thing too.
Yeah, I mean, in all truth, I'm terrible at social media, probably really, but I'm trying to get better at it. Like I'm trying. So but yeah, no, I mean it's you know, it kind of having I've had like a couple of, you know, friends and stuff and people that I've worked with to help kind of create a couple of things because, you know, as you say, it is a good way to sort of you know, try and promote your music kind of thing. And I've had avoid like a bit of a, you know, a tussle with social media with it, but you know, as I say, kind of being an independent artist, like, you know, it is a good outlet, like, you know, seeing it for that and being able to, you know, let people know about when a new song is coming out and then when the song is out and they like kind of then doing, you know, doing shows for it and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, to have that kind of platform to do that, like, is a positive. You know, because, you know, if you're an independent artist, like of, you know, 15, 20 years ago, you know, you wouldn't have had that kind of thing. So that's the good side of it. So yeah, I guess it's for me just trying to get to grips with it a bit more and trying to like, you know, keep finding ways that, I can sort of, just post what I want to post about as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't want to be doing like, anything that maybe, don't feel too sort of like, I guess, wouldn't say like comfortable, kind of like, you can kind of like, be doing some things where it's just kind of like, oh, like, would I be really talking about like, no, just be yourself. Do you know what I mean? Just you do you. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
So yeah, no, I'm kind of just trying to manage all of that really, and trying to find, I guess, trying to find like, but what you feel comfortable with your, kind of level of it. It really is, sort of thing. And but trying to manage the music side of it more importantly. On the flip side of it. So yeah, I think music first and then social second.
yeah, yeah. Sounds good to me. Okay, okay, yeah, right, so, yeah, yeah, right. So obviously, with the whole point of this is to sort of like to I guess like to find out so like where you want to I guess like take this in the future, like what's your like ideal like where you want to get to, whether or not it would just be to make money off this thing, or like to fill fill a venue of a certain capacity, um that sort of thing. I guess where do you fancy taking your career to, if you could and want to, sort of thing?
I mean, to take it
Or is it
to,
sort
I
of
mean, yeah.
too early to say at this moment in time?
Thinking about life, yeah. This is a
Well, yeah, it's yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's because it's trying to be like a less blunt way of saying, so like a at a job interview. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That sort of thing, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah. Um, where do I see it? I mean,
Or where
to
do
be
you want
honest,
to see it?
yeah, I mean, honestly, the thing for me would be just be able to do it for a long time. Just that's really is the goal of it, just the
Sure.
longevity of it, and being able to sort of do shows and to whatever level. I mean, that's kind of that side of things is out of my control, really. Kind of thing. I've kind of just got to let it do what it's gonna do. Like how it, some things can maybe work well, some don't, and it's just about sort of figuring out as you go along. That's all it really is. But I think the biggest thing for me would just be to be able to do it for as long as possible. You know, because I feel it is kind of hard to sort of, it really is so hard to really predict like what, I mean, we would love to sort of dream about doing all the great things that a lot of musicians would dream about, but I think all that I kind of really view it as is what I can sort of do with everything that I can kind of do, in that kind of position, like as an independent artist, and sort of just explore that really, and just see where that kind of takes it, and kind of just hopefully step by step sort of maybe figure out what I should maybe be doing next, or like if I feel like that I need to be putting out some songs, let's put out some songs. If I haven't been writing too much, need to write too much, and uh write more, sort of thing. And with like with shows as well, if I've not been like sort of been gigging too much, then I need to maybe try and look at trying to get a show together, or like go that kind of thing. And but I think even sort of like money or whatever, that kind of thing, like it's not really what look to sort of to be sort of like an achievement kind of thing, because again that'll just be what it'll be as well. Also, like kind of doing music was not for that, and it'll sort of never be really for that, I don't think. And it'll be um it'll be sort of just mainly about being able to do as many shows as possible, and being able to write as many songs as possible, and release as many songs as possible. I think that's the biggest goal for me.
Awesome. Well, Simon, I just want to say thanks for spending the last hour talking to me, more or
Yeah.
less. Um,
Thank you for having
yeah,
me.
No, it's all good.
Hope it wasn't too
Um,
boring.
oh no. Hey, it's one of those things. Like when an hour goes like that,
I know that flew, to be fair, actually. I was like, when you said an hour then, I was like, "Whoa,
yeah, like
have we been
it's
chatting
not too
that
bad,
much
is it?
rubbish, have I? Yeah, wow, great."
Hey, because half of it's been
Been
McFly and cancellation, hasn't it?
bit of the feeling, bit of Coldplay. It's had it all. It's had it all. It's had airports. It's had it all.
It's had Grimsby as well.
It's
Like
well, it's got to
mental.
include of course it's got to include Grimsby. You know what I mean? So
Um, uh, so so as I found you, how can people find out more about you? Where can people find you? Where can they hopefully not stalk you? Where can they email you?
you
Where can
can
they find tickets to shows, EPs, everything?
absolutely, yeah. Well, my social media handles for Instagram is Simon Howard Music. On TikTok, it's Simon Howard HQ. That's the same as my Twitter or X, as people like to maybe call it. I don't know which one anymore. And yeah, find my music on Spotify, all streaming platforms, and yeah, on YouTube it's also Simon Howard Music.
Beautiful. No, no. Right. So in that case, well, Simon Howard. I'll leave you to get on with on with what you're doing, Anthony McFly, and it's been an
I'm going
absolute
straight
pleasure.
there now, straight on the tube, going.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure. Cheers.
Oh, thank you for having me, mate.